He lied to me about his status. He was knowledgeable about it, and he intentionally passed it.
When I was told by the doctor, I heard him, but I didn't hear him.
Hello and welcome. You are watching Beyond Ordinary with your host, Maya Spella Cullins. Thanks for tuning in on today. We have a beautiful lady by the name of Miss Mercedes. Don't give me the line. I do not want to mess up her name, her last name. But she has an amazing story, and we will be talking about why she's here today and what is her story and what she would like to share to the audience. So thanks for coming on the show, and pronounce your last name for me.
Veasy.
Veasy.
Yes.
Okay, Mercedes.
Yes.
Thanks for coming, and thanks for being here. So what information or what is your story that you feel that the audience should hear?
Well, I have been diagnosed with HIV for 16 years, and I'm just living my best life. You know, life can still keep going, and there's no stopping.
Right. So can you tell us a little bit how you contracted it? When did this all happen? I know you said 16 years ago. But.
Yes. I was involved with someone. I was in a relationship with him. I was not promiscuous. You didn't have to be promiscuous in order to catch it. But I was in a monogamous relationship with somebody that I was in love with. And unfortunately, he lied to me about his status. He was knowledgeable about it, and he intentionally passed it.
Wow. So when you say intentionally, what do you mean intentionally? I mean, obviously he knew he had it.
Yes.
Was it a different lifestyle he was living that you wasn't aware of?
Well, to be honest, he took me to a restaurant, and he told me that he used to be gay. And I feel that he took me to the restaurant because he didn't want me to make a scene. You know? There had also been times throughout our relationship that he would jokingly say, I have HIV, and then he would joke about it. He's like, oh no, I'm just playing,
Oh wow.
And unfortunately, I was so naive back then. I was naive. I didn't think anything of it.
So when you knew Mercedes, when he said, was gay and these things, and you saw these red flags, and then you went to the doctor one day. Tell me how did that look? How did that play out when you went into the doctor and you found out?
I didn't find out until after he told me.
Oh, okay.
Right, but I didn't go to the doctor until I think it was a few weeks later I did. I was trying to make sure that he was okay first because he knew. I'm stuck.
So you was trying to make sure he was okay, so you kind of put yourself on the back burner to make sure he was okay and good first.
Right.
And even though you saw the red flags of him joking and taking you to the restaurant and telling you he was gay and all these different things, you never went to the doctor first.
I ended up going to the doctor. I did go to the doctor. It just took me some time to actually sink this in that I could possibly have it too. I wanted to make sure that he was okay because of him just finding out himself. But it did not sink into me that he knew about this.
Right.
And after he told me that he was gay before, he said he used to be gay. And I was already in love with him. I was stuck.
Right. So Mercedes, when you found out, tell me, how did it feel? When it was official and you knew that you were HIV positive?
When the doctor has told me my results, I didn't really understand the meaning, reactive, non-reactive, and everything. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm cool, I thought that she said I was okay, and she was like, no, you misunderstood, you do have it. And I'm like, it was a blow.
Right.
It was a blow, but I feel, and the doctors felt that I handled it with grace, pretty much. It's just that, when you're having sex, you have to take on the responsibility of a child, STD and all that. So it's like all that comes into play. So it's like if you're not mature enough to handle these situations, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
It's not like, even though you're an adult, if you can't handle situations like this head on, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Right. So what advice could you give to the audience that could be watching that man or that woman that is affected with HIV, and you are bold and courageous to come and say, hey, I'm affected, this is my story, and this is what I'm living. So with you taking that stand, it may be somebody that's watching or the audience that say, hey, I wish I had that same courage, but I just don't. I wish I had that same courage to be honest and open and maybe tell, but I just don't. What advice could you give them?
Well, the advice that I would have to give is basically that your life is not over. It's not over just because you're diagnosed with HIV. You don't have to live in a nutshell. You don't have to hide from people. You know, everybody has issues that they're dealing with. They have some type of disease that they're dealing with. They're just not open about it. You have some people that are advocates. Some people, they keep quiet about it. You don't have to become an advocate or anything like that. Like, just don't hide. Don't hide who you are. And that doesn't mean that you have to go around and shout it to the world or anything like that. It's not for everybody. But don't feel ashamed. Don't hide. Don't, sugarcoat who you are. Don't sugarcoat who you are. Like, be raw. Be this raw person. Be you. Be real. And that's how I've been living for 16 years.
Wow. Wow.
You have to.
And if you could do anything different, would it be anything that you could have done different?
I would have loved myself more back then. I was going through a lot at that particular time, and it's like, if you don't have love for yourself all the way, you can slip up.
Right.
People that sit up there and be like, well, I'm in a relationship with him, I love him and everything like that, so we deserve unprotected sex.
Right.
And that's not the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could really be out for you. And even husbands, wives, you're not safe either.
Right.
You're not safe either. I know.
So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
So when you say husband, wives, why do you say that? Is it that you see so commonly that women and men that are married or in protected relationships are the leading cause of individuals that are affected?
Well, yes, I know a couple of people that has been diagnosed and they were married. They got it from their partners, and everybody can sit up there and hear, oh, well, she's nasty, she's promiscuous and everything. Like, you can be married in a monogamous relationship and your husband or wife is stepping out on you. Nobody is safe when it comes to HIV. They really aren't.
Right.
Or any disease for that matter. Like, this is so important for people to get, because when you stigmatize people because of their status and bully and all of that, it could be you. Definitely could be you. Just because you have a ring on your finger don't make you exempt.
That's right.
So it's very important for people to treat folks with HIV with respect, because we are the ones that's going through trials, medical experiments and stuff like that. We're preparing the next generation. We're trying to help your kids come up with this, this cure and everything. So please have respect for the HIV community, because we're not just people that sit around and we're waiting on our death date.
Oh, no.
HIV is not a death sentence anymore. And I thank God for those that have been before me that did the test, the trials and all that to get me to
make
this
it better,
point.
yeah.
Yes.
And you're 16 years and counting. Yes.
I can't wait till I make 20. I'm like,
yes, look like 20 years. So it's amazing to see your beautiful woman that have a phenomenal story. And many of you that's out there that's watching, I hope Miss Mercedes was able to drop something on your spirit on today to let you know that it is not a death sentence. We got to take a break, but we have another guest that will be coming on to share her story. These are real life, real stories, and real people. Stay connected and make sure if you want to know more information, go to beyondordinary.tv. Thank you, and I'm your host, Maya Spella-Cullins.
she had me come and stay with her at that time, and eventually we ended up getting into a fist fight over my status. Mental health is very important to address. People put on fake faces all day, and you would not even know that they are in pain about something personal, and they will keep it to themselves and just allow it to build up. It's important to receive counseling. It's not a shameful situation. Everybody has issues. Everybody is dealing with something on a daily basis. It's nothing to be ashamed about. It's okay to get counseling and get help for yourself. You have to get help for yourself, or you're just gonna fall. Your life is gonna crumble, and you're gonna be in shambles, just in pieces. You have to get yourself taken care of. It's very important, and you have to know that you are loved in spite of any given situation.
For more updates on the show, for more episodes, and to find out more about me, please make sure you log in to beyondordinary.tv. Welcome back to Beyond Ordinary. I'm still here with Miss Beautiful Mercedes, and I have a few more questions for you, Miss Mercedes. Now that you know, and obviously it's been 16 and counting years of being diagnosed with HIV, have you experienced anything different when you made it known to family and friends? Were you treated different? How is your world after learning and telling the world?
Well, my sister, she helped me tell my mother, and it was heartbreaking to have to tell your mom that, because it's like you were gonna feel the sense of disappointment, because you let your mom down, you let your parents down, but it's like, oh no, this is my life, this is my story, so just as well as everybody has their stories, I have mine, and I'm gonna ride it out until the end. It's how I finish the story.
Right.
So I did tell friends. I told my best friend, which I thought was like a sister to me. She really was. And she had me come and stay with her at that time. And eventually, we ended up getting into a fist fight over my status. I had no idea why this had happened. She just came out of nowhere and hit me upside the head with a vase.
Did you? Obviously, now you know. So you told her, going to your friend, saying this has happened, this is my situation, and she responded.
She knew before I even moved with her. She knew that it was a possibility that I had it, and she was just like, well, I don't want you to change, I don't really know the reasoning behind her attacking me with a vase, because she did not want me to change. But I had reached out to one of my dear friends that has passed away now, who also had HIV. I reached out to him to get more clarity of the situation because, he was gay, and I felt like he could understand me better.
Right.
She wanted me to go to parties and just jump out there, and be social. And I'm like, I can't do that.
She wanted you to be what she wanted you to be for her.
Yes. And I'm like, I can't go to social scenes yet. I can't do it yet. I'm still sinking this in. I just got told a week or so ago, I have to let this sink in or I'm going to infect someone else,
Right.
And of course, when you go to a party, they're going to want to know, hey, what's your name, and try and vibe with you, probably want to get in a relationship with you. And it's like, eventually, I'm going to have to drop this bomb that I have not synced in yet. And you're putting me in a bad situation. And she didn't get it. But because of me making that statement to my friend on the phone, next thing I know, I walked out of the room and a vase hit my head.
Wow.
So, we never got into a fist fight before. We was friends for 20 years.
So are y'all still friends?
No, we're not.
Okay.
It was like a blood scene everywhere, definitely. My family was very upset, and she had moved away, and I didn't really ever hear from her again until a few years back. I had reached out to her, and I just wanted to know why. I felt like I had unanswered questions, and she apologized to me, but it's just like,
you just couldn't take it back to where y'all were?
We couldn't, because I didn't feel like she was trying. It was like she would apologize and then disappear on me or not give me that support that I needed, you know. So I still really don't understand the gist of why she attacked me that day. I still think about it. I hate that it happened. And I have a major trust issue with people.
Right. So what is your saving grace now? What is keeping Mercedes now?
God. God is definitely keeping me. I never really went to social HIV groups because some people are just still in a depression, and I can't really operate off of depressed people. You
Right,
know,
right.
I don't want to lose my spirit and who I am.
By being around people that
Yeah.
may not be there yet. Right.
So, I mean, God has totally gotten me through all of this. I don't really talk about this situation much to people, but I definitely endured attacks and all that, but through it all, He has helped me.
Right, right. So audience and everyone that is watching, I hope that you are blessed by hearing Miss Mercedes, and hopefully she says some words. And one of the words and one of the things that I took from what she said, she never lost hope and she never lost faith in who she is. And she understands spiritually that there is a higher power and God has been her saving grace. So whatever that is for you and to you, find what that is and find peace in your walk. And know that there is life and you can still live it abundantly. So make sure you stay connected. I have another guest that will be coming on, and I know that you want to hear her story as well. The whole purpose of it all is to be able to share this platform with so many different people that's out there watching. They can be of great benefit to you, to your next door neighbor, to your friends, and to your loved ones. Be blessed and stay connected on Beyond Ordinary TV with your host, Maya Spella Clemens. You found out, what emotions, what feelings did you have at that particular time?
Oh, wow. It was like tunnel vision. When I was told by the doctor, I was told, I heard him, but I didn't hear him.
Beyond Your Ordinary, the Maya Spella Cullen Show, I'm so excited to announce, because so many people struggle with issues every single day. And when I say issues feeling like you want to give up on life, there's no hope, that nobody loves you, that you have no purpose in life. But I'm here to bring back that hope. I'm here to bring light and shed light on various situations, from marriage to families, to the school system, down to the hospitals that you may lay. I am your girl, Maya Spella Cullens. Be connected, stay connected, and get the help that you need.
Stay tuned and watch my episode on Beyond Ordinary with Maya Spella Cullen.
Hello and welcome to Beyond Ordinary. I am your host, Maya Spella Cullens. Welcome back. We have a second guest on today, Miss Donesha Bowers, and she's going to share her story and give you some insight from her perspective. So welcome again.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yes.
So I know today's topic, we're talking about women that are affected with HIV, and I want you to share your story from your perspective of what you feel the audience need to hear.
Okay. I have been positive since 1993, April of 1993. That's 26 years. I am currently married, 16 years, and my husband is negative. Thank you. And I have a 22-year-old son, and he is negative also.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
16 years of marriage.
Yes.
So how did you and when did you find out? When you found out, what emotions, what feelings did you have at that particular time?
Oh, wow. It was like tunnel vision. When I was told by the doctor, I was told, I heard him, but I didn't hear him. And he had to, are you okay? Do you need me to call family members?
Right.
Immediately, I just knew, okay, what do I have to do to survive? What do I have to do? You know, medication is the key. I've been on medication since I was diagnosed.
Right.
I am undetected, and that's very important. My husband, you know, of course, I want to protect him.
Right.
So undetected now means untransmittable.
That was funny. So when you say undetected, so it's untransmittable. So how did you contract it?
My son's father, he is now deceased, and he passed the virus on to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming he didn't tell you.
No.
You didn't know, obviously, because you probably wouldn't have it today.
Absolutely.
But is it anything that you feel that you could have done a little bit different, if it was anything at all?
Maybe protection, but we were in a relationship for 4 or 5 years, so I mean, you know, you stop wearing protection, you trust, you know, and yeah.
Well, so what advice could you give to the audience that are watching to stay protected if it's a young man or young woman? Because it can happen to any of us.
Go get tested together. You know, get tested before, you know, you you enter into a relationship with someone, and I mean, just continue to wear that protection. You just never know. We do have a medication that will keep you from contracting the virus, so maybe the couple can, get on that medication.
And is there any type of support groups or things that's out there if someone is watching and they say, hey, I just found out, I feel like my world is upside down. What type of support groups, what is out there that you feel that would be beneficial that they would need to know?
I am a part of the Heather Ivy Society, and it is a support group for women, newly and old diagnosed, and it's awesome. We get in there, we talk about everything, and we cry together, and we recently went on a retreat together, and it was awesome. So that is what I would say, let's get into this support group, and you're not alone.
Right. So if you don't remember anything else, just know that you're not alone, that there are support groups and it is services that's out there to walk with you along this journey. So make sure that you stay connected. We got to take a break, but I'll be right back on Beyond Ordinary with your host, Maya Stella Cullins.
HIV is not a death sentence. You can live a long time with it. An example, 1993 of April, I've been living with it, and my husband is negative. My son was born, and he's negative. Mental health is important to me. It's very important to get help for your mind, and it's very important to seek out the help that you need for any situation, anxiety, depression, anything you're going through. It's important, like going to the doctors for a regular checkup. Mental health is very important.
Hello and welcome back. I'm glad that you stayed connected because we still have some informative information to provide to you. I know that you may or may not be aware, but out of every 1 to 51 people are affected with HIV. Every 9.5 seconds, there's someone learning that they are affected or they contracted HIV. So I want you to stay connected and make sure that you go get tested. Understand that HIV can be transmitted to you in multiple ways. A lot of times they say, well, I can't touch that person because I'm going to catch it. Or I can't just lay beside that person and kiss that person because I'm going to catch it. But the truth of the matter is you can catch it by needles, tattoos, or being in a healthy relationship that you might have thought, and prior to that relationship, that person could have exchange contact with someone that's affected.
HIV is not a death sentence. You can live a long time with it. An example, 1993 of April, I've been living with it, and my husband is negative. My son was born, and he's negative. So educate yourself. It's very important to get education. You can't catch it from a touch or a hug, and you can certainly have a relationship whereas one is positive and one is negative, and thrive.
So thanks for being on the show today, and thanks for connecting with us. We're going to go ahead and ask you this final question that is burning. Because I'm just picturing myself. So if it's an individual that's affected with HIV and I don't know it, but that person wants to date or different things, what are some of the things prior to you meeting the love of your life, your man, your king, your alpha, but before meeting him, when you came in contact with someone who didn't have it, were you fearful? What were some emotions that he might have expressed to you that he felt that could have very well ended where you just single and you're not in a relationship, you have no desire because you feel like nobody will want me, you know. So how did that work for you when you started to date and before you found, or when you found your king?
We started off as friends, and we let it grow from there. My intentions were to get into a relationship. We were just really, really cool, and continue to keep in contact with one another. I was still in the state of New Jersey, and he moved here in Georgia. We kept a long distance relationship going, and we fell in love. I told him I have something to tell you, and he just, I don't care, whatever it is, you know, I got you, I'm with you, whatever. He came to visit one weekend, and of course I had my son, and sent him to my mom's.
Right.
Had the candles going,
Right.
and had an intimate dinner, and I knew I needed to tell him.
Right.
And I told him, and he just was so supportive. We cried together, and just, you know, whatever, we get through it.
So what measures are y'all taking to protect from it being?
Well, he wears condoms, and I'll be honest, my husband does not wear condoms all the time, but again, undetected is untransmittable. I make sure that he's tested every year.
Okay.
But it's just, we love each other unconditionally. He makes sure he goes to the doctors. I'm constantly in treatment.
Right.
I have the support of family and friends, and it's not a death sentence.
Right.
And I just want to stop the stigma.
Right,
You know?
and that leads me to my next question. What are some of the stigmas that you hear, just being around people, or just being, being positive HIV? So what are some of the stigmas that you hear?
That you can't thrive with a negative partner.
Which is not true.
I'm living proof.
Right.
You can, you know, or you will always be alone, or, you know, or an outcast, and that's not true.
That's not
you know?
true.
There's
Right.
a huge community of support and love, and you can absolutely live with this.
Right,
You
most
can
definitely, most
yeah.
definitely. And see, this is the thing. You have created a platform for yourself on your own.
Mhm.
Like, she's already out and doing amazing things. Tell us a little bit about what you are doing now.
I am an author. My autobiography, it has no face. You can go to DoneshaBowers.com, and you can find my book, Barnes & Nobles, and I'm also on Amazon. I am trying to advocate for the community, newly diagnosed, and just, I love people.
Right.
So just love on people and let them know that this is not a death sentence, and you can live with this, and you have so much support. And, you know, I remember when I was diagnosed and how I felt and how depressed I became. And,
Right.
you know, so I just want to be there for people, you know, and just let them know you can thrive with it.
Bless you, bless you. That's amazing, because people need more, we need more people like you.
Absolutely.
And if you haven't learned anything else, definitely make sure that you stay connected and that you tune in to all the websites. I'm gonna let you give all your information, because I know people want to hear more from you.
Yes.
Because it is a disease that is going around and it's affecting so many people. And it doesn't matter if you're white, doesn't matter if you're black, it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, you can be affected. So thanks for connecting with us on today, and we're going to end it by you telling the audience how they can connect with you and get a copy of your book.
Okay. It Has No Face is the name of my book, and you can find it on Donesha, DONESHA Bowers, BOWERS.com. I'm also on Amazon. Just type in my name and the book will pop up, or Barnes & Nobles.
Thanks again for connecting. Make sure you stay tuned at BeyondOrdinary.tv. And I am your host, Maya Spella Cullen.